Star Trek Lower Decks Review, Season 1, Episode 10. Okay.
Yeah.
Cat's out of the bag.
Yeah. And
I wonder if how often Kate had to deal with that.
we'll see. And one of the things is the another Enterprise. That's so on brand for the Packlet.
Yeah.
It's another Enterprise. Uh,
We're not the Enterprise. Were they like a common enemy?
what, Packlet?
Yeah.
Not
No.
really.
They showed up maybe once. I know they showed up once, maybe twice. They were basically what they showed here, but less adept. Like in
Yeah.
TNG, I know they showed up in TNG. I don't think they showed up. It might have been a one-shot thing where they only showed up once.
I think it was a one shot
Yeah,
because I honestly only vaguely remember.
yeah, because they abducted Geordi and he he messed with them because they weren't very sharp. They didn't know how to maintain anything they got, so they would just take things, sort of Frankenstein their ships together, and when things started wearing out, instead of trying to repair them, they just stole something from somebody else and popped it in there. I think it's been a while since I saw that episode, but yeah, generally they're considered fairly slow-witted for a spacefaring race.
They sound friendly.
Yeah, no.
um, yeah, there was nothing much. It wasn't much to them. They were sort of
They were kind of a one-off one-off character that gets more FaceTime here.
yeah. It's just sort of one of those things where it only happened. It only really happened once, but it was there's such a silly race that doesn't make a lot of sense
Mm-hmm.
that it just sort of they got memed into probably being the one they
Yeah.
chose for this.
I figured because I may not know a lot about like Star Trek at all, but I've at least heard of like all the aliens at least once. I've never heard of them before.
I think they were just one episode.
Yeah, just like that. Although they did a lot of one-offs in this one. Like they referenced a lot of one-offs,
Yeah, well,
like at the
that's
very beginning where they're on that planet. That was a one-off story from a TOS.
from those
I
old
love,
scientists.
yeah, I love how Ransom referenced the TOS era. It's like TOS, uh, those old scientists. That was a nice little inside joke there.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a lot of Lower Decks MO is to take a species that you see once and then just sort of, oh, we get to see them again. Like,
Yeah.
it might have been big and dramatic the first time, like when Picard met them, or
Mm-hmm.
Cisco dealt with them, or something, or Kirk. Just somebody came in, dealt with them, and then like you come back later, and oh, this is how they are now.
It's nice to see that though, like that whole
Well, I
where they
mean, this whole thing is just basically it's a fun show if you don't. This is a show that gets better the more you know.
yeah.
It's designed to try and get better the more you know. Whether
It's a
they
very,
whether
it's a very inside jokey type thing.
Yeah, you can enjoy the show with knowing basically nothing about Star Trek.
Yeah.
You can enjoy it, but it's made much better the more you know.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing at the end with Riker and the jazz. It's like
Yes. Oh my gosh. And the stash. She's like, where do you think I get all my
We're gonna talk about this.
cut the line.
my
Cut the line. We're going
Yeah.
to talk about this later, right?
Yes.
um, but yeah, I mean, which as a helm, as the helm, like that's got to be like okay,
Awkward.
what warp? You know, like he's so he he's thinking he's so cool with the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like, sorry to sort of step on your groove here,
But
Captain.
what
But
number
what
actually
warp?
want to go?
What warp do you actually want me to put in here?
Yeah. Yeah. Although that's probably his engage, so they probably know.
Yeah, I mean, like, but yeah, but the first time you do it, it's like,
Oh yeah.
oh no, that's
Imagine being new at the helm and being like,
which
you
warp
really
would you
want
like?
to go at warp 8?
It's like, I mean, you know,
You
I
know what
think
it does?
I like jazz fine, but yeah, it's just like this is there. I can only go at one warp at a time, so
Do you want
kind
me
of
to
need a clear order on
eight?
what warp to engage.
Do you want me to go work up to warp 8? Is this like a manual?
Yeah, do I
Is this
go
stick shifts?
or do I go? You know, when he says 4, I tap 4. When he goes 5, tap 5. Tap 6, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we're going warp 8, sir. Are you sure? Yeah.
It's like, you madman, you're going to kill us all.
And I thought it was odd that one of the things, I guess to a certain extent, Riker's been around enough that he gets special dispensation, but
No, no,
that
no. No. That was a reference to the last episode of Enterprise.
no, that's not what I was about to talk
Oh,
about. I was going to talk about the uniforms, how the
oh,
Titan is running running those uniforms, those older uniforms, and you know, Boimler has to get a whole new uniform for that chip for the Titan. It's like, does
well,
Riker just?
I mean, within the uniforms do vary. Like,
Usually not within the same time period. Like, you know, when you have the Dominion War, things change, and after the Dominion War, you know, the Enterprise were wearing the Dominion War outfits too.
yeah, but if you noticed, DS9 and Voyager both occurred in the same time frame, but their outfits were different.
But yeah, so the thing is with that is they're both like, if they're both ships, you know, like from the Titan, like I could understand maybe station versus, you know, on ships, but like you have two ships, and it's just it's weird to wear that. It's like, you know, Picard wanting the Enterprise to wear TOS uniforms. It's like, what are you doing?
Well, the first season they did, sort of. And
And
you saw the men and the women in those skirts for a long time.
well, I'm not talking about scants, but it's a weird thing. But I suppose maybe he
But
has
I
some.
guess it might be up to the discretion of the captain.
Yeah, they might say, okay, you can have, you know, this is your selection of uniforms you can assign your crew.
Exactly.
And so it's like, yeah, a lot of captains just go with the newest variant and go, okay, well, once that's been
It's
established, then
like it's kind of like the iPhone thing where some people they're cool sticking to the class, not having to upgrade every time a new one comes out. Other people are like, shit, a new one came out? I gotta get it right now.
I get a new phone every time my battery starts to lose power.
Exactly. I don't get a new phone until I need one, and then I just get the newest phone they have. But my point is, there are those who hold out until they, something happens and they have to change. And then there are those who like to upgrade every time they can. So, like, it's probably up to the captain's discretion, and Riker's just a classicist.
but yeah, it's just sort of just thought it was kind of weird, but and then yeah, I understood the holodeck thing. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah, that
was those inside joke things.
yeah, it was
That like, yeah. There were a lot of those blink and you miss it inside jokes.
and
like,
and so Mariner apparently is going to be the captain's personal Section 31.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't be seen getting my hands dirty with this, but you can. It's in fact, it's expected of you. But you can be effective without compromising. I'm just gonna wag my finger at you.
Yeah, you're gonna get us both arrested. Just don't tell your father.
But
it's like, if I turn out these security protocols, you're not gonna try to kill me again, are you?
No, of course not, father.
and
I love
Why?
Badge.
Why? Come on! Why is it going so slow? I'm going. I'm holding out until you die. Come on! Why? You snapped my neck, father.
yeah, which
Like,
another thing that didn't make a lot of sense is the whole, like, the security officer. Okay, get him in there, perfect sense. Like,
mhm.
you know, you need somebody to cover him while he's doing the tech work.
Yeah.
But like, he throws him in there and then doesn't just jump in himself. And
It needed to be pushed out.
I think the engines could have done that. Like, I think the engines are more powerful than he is.
It just could have been broken or something.
But
Yeah.
I think they still used them on the way. Didn't they still use them
No,
on the way out?
no, he did until they picked him up.
Well, assuming the engines were working, then he didn't need to, and they could have both escaped.
All this because Peanut Hamper was a coward who is now
fuck,
face.
fuck Peanut Hamper.
I know, right? Fucking coward.
It was a stupid
Take
name.
one for the team. Yeah.
Oh, he did this to piss off my dad.
I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of people who've been there, but when the going gets tough, they take one for the team. Look at he joined Voyager to get out of prison and to piss off his dad. Although he was more in prison to piss off his dad because he pissed off his dad.
Yeah,
who was an
because he
admiral.
did that rather than, and I don't know
Yeah.
that. I don't know that. Yeah, I don't know that he joined. That Paris joined to piss off the admiral, but
Well, he had pissed off the admiral prior, and
yeah,
he was
he'd already done that. Yeah, that
being
was.
to get out of it.
But
But when he was pretty selfish. He was all like, you know,
yeah,
freaking I was only in here because of some GTA stuff I did stealing my dad's my dad's shuttle.
Wouldn't it be GTS, Grand Theft Spaceship?
Um uh Actually it was GTS Grand Theft Shuttle, but
so still a spaceship, just a small
yeah.
one. I mean, and then speaking of sort of selfish moves, Boimler joining the Titan.
Yeah. That was a dick move.
I mean,
oh yeah. Oh,
it's
he
kind
has some
of, but it is
explaining to.
also like almost a page
No,
out
no, no.
of
It's a dick move because he had just said
yeah,
that he want Mariner to take a promotion because he didn't want her to leave him.
yeah, and
And
then
then he
he
her
goes and leaves. Like it's, I mean, the cutthroat nature of it is a little more Mariner, but the but leaving was not. That was not a Mariner move.
yeah.
Like, if it had been anybody else, like if he hadn't said what he said, like she would have respected. I think she would have respected it as a. If she hadn't said, I want you to stay. Yeah, wanted you to say." If he hadn't said that, like, I think she would have been annoyed, but I don't think she would have respected it as a move. But like, and like, oh, he's actually, taking a chance this time, so okay. Which is it's also kind of weird that all of a sudden, you know, with all of the stuff Boimler's been through and his spotless record, like, but like Riker's like, no, I want you to join. What? What? I guess it's less of a problem because Cerritos is going to be in dock for I don't even want to think how long it took him to put the Cerritos
Yeah.
back together. So like they're gonna be spending months putting the Cerritos back together. So if he's more helm, you know, he does helm work and a few flight tasks everywhere. Like what his official position, I'm not sure, but he's in sort of command red, but what he's actually doing, I don't know. Besides occasionally, doing bridge duty. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I guess they don't need a helmsman if they're not going anywhere. Which, this kind of feels like we're halfway through an episode. Like this is a two-parter, and the rest of it, because Boimler has to end up back on the Cerritos, because otherwise this whole thing doesn't make any sense. Like, considering I know there's a season 2, like
Boimler clone.
yeah, Boimler is going to return to the Cerritos in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, get his
I
ass dragged back.
will
Yeah, spoilers I know, but like it's kind
Yeah.
of obvious. Like you don't have to know any
Yeah.
spoilers to know. Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm
back.
just not going to spoil how.
Yeah, how? Yeah, how it happens, I don't know.
It's a funny story, which I'm not going to say because gotta wait to watch it.
Yeah, and that's probably the first episode of the next season.
Yeah.
Because you'd want to get him back on the Cerritos as fast as possible, because otherwise, you've lost one of your main characters on a completely different ship.
It's either the first or second.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty quick, and
Yeah.
then and then either you know, and then either they're gonna get a new security officer, or like something weird happened and saved the big
Oh
security
yeah,
guy,
I
which
don't think he died.
yeah, something happened. kind of it kind of would be funny if you find out Q saved him because he finds him amusing. It's like, eat any good books lately? He just finds him amusing, so he saved him for, well, for the laughs.
Mhm.
But there's no telling. But yeah, it's one or the other. Um, you're gonna it basically shows like this, comedy shows with a little bit of light drama, tend to have a lot of inertia toward, they tend to stay the same, and also they tend to be pulled back. Anytime you pull them out of it, they want to return back to there's a lot of gravity here. It wants to stay fairly stable, and when it does get moved out of position, it wants to move back. So I'm gonna imagine, yeah, during the first couple episodes of next season, we're gonna get everything kind of readjusted back into a status quo. There's a lot of status quo gravity on the show. So, um,
Mm, I don't think that one ship is gonna get its deposit back.
No, but this just that's kind of karma. It's like, who peeled off the film on here? I want it pristine as possible for as long as possible. And it's like the person who's like, no eating in my car, no drinking in my car, no dirty shoes. Take your shoes off before you get in, that kind of person. And then crunch. There's
or
something,
they, or a misplaced concrete spout lands right on top of it.
yes. There's something kind of cathartic about that. Something very relieving about watching somebody who's so anal retentive and dick about it having their car crushed. Or is that just me and I'm an asshole?
Well, let it be.
Okay. I mean,
Anyway,
I know I'm a monster, so seeing somebody else in pain kind of makes me happy.
Schadenfreude.
Yes.
Uh,
It's the German, and I love the Schadenfreude.
okay. Any further things to say about this one?
I don't think so. Not that I can remember, anyway.
Okay.